This year's iPhone launch, it really could have been an event that was simply an email blast. I would have been happy to receive all that information that I received on that launch on an email. There was a lot of pomp and ceremony for very few things that were actually updated across the range. But there's the two notable things, I guess, or three really. The AI, which I'm here nor there about. Time will tell how good that is. The 48 megapixel ultra wide on the Pro series phones, that's kind of cool. And that button, and we'll talk about that button in depth in just a second, but that button, well, it's new. It's interesting that we've gone from Steve Jobs saying let's get rid of have no buttons to now we're adding more buttons. Interesting. Very few updates. There's new colors, new chips, but I think the new chips are more for AI and the work that it's going to do. I think Siri is going to actually use the AI on the phone, so Siri's not going to point us to a website that we could just do ourselves anyway. And on the Pro series, I think across all of them there's new batteries, but on the Pro series there's new batteries, better batteries, and bigger screens. And what is interesting is between the Pro and the Pro Max, best I can tell is that the only difference is the battery and the screen. So the cameras are exactly the same on both phones. So no longer will I have to hold this massive brick of a phone in my pocket to get all the top end cameras for this channel. So the regular iPhone 16 Pro, not the Max, is still going to have the ultra wide at 48 megapixel, the main camera at 48 megapixel, and the 5x zoom. A 5x zoom on such a small camera on a small phone, that's kind of cool. I do like that. I'm really looking forward to not having to have a big phone in my pocket. I'm really looking forward to that. I've had the Max since the 12, 13, 14, 15, had the Max, so it's going to be nice to have a smaller phone. A couple of things that really kind of annoyed me, to be honest. One is when the Pixel 8 was released, and I'm sure other phones have done this as well, but when the Pixel 8 was released, there was all these wonderful AI features that it was going to be, well, that's in that Pixel phone. And when the phone released, most of them weren't there. It was just a phone that had all the camera and so forth, but it didn't have all the cutting edge stuff that that phone brought us eventually. All these things came in software updates, and I distinctly remember some of my iPhone friends talking about that, saying how much of a crock that was, that they didn't launch with all the features that it was promising. But the same goes for this. There are so many AI features that this is going to ship with iOS 18, I believe. So there's no AI features in there now anyway. So that's going to come in a software update. These big multinational companies, forget that they're multinational companies. They're going to have this really cool thing where you're going to be able to send text via satellite. Those satellites that spin around the globe. But we're only going to do it in North America, like US and Canada. So what about the rest of the world? At the moment, we can send our location via satellite, and I use this quite a bit for my other channel. When I am remote camping and I want to be able to tell my wife where I am, I can send a longitude and latitude to where I am, and that's quite cool. I think it opens in Apple Maps. But to be able to send her text via that as well, that would be cool. And they're launching that. I don't even think that's being launched with the phone when it's first released. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it will come eventually, but then only initially rolled out to North America. You're a multinational, you're a worldwide company. What the hell? I've been watching a lot of comments on different YouTubers' videos about this phone, different comments on Facebook groups and so forth, and the thing that seems to come up, and it comes up every year, is that Apple, the best iPhone ever. You're never going to say it's not the best iPhone ever, but they're saying there's no innovation. They look exactly the same. And have you looked at a Samsung phone lately? The S21, 22, 23, 24, they all look the bloody same to me. There's virtually no imagination there either, except they did get rid of the 10 times zoom and brought it back just to 5 times zoom. I don't know why. That was a mistake in my opinion. But anyway, the iPhone launch, there was just so many things that I kind of went, ugh, yeah, so. Like the new watch, the Ultra 2 is basically the Ultra 1, different color. Why? What's the point? There's 4 new colours with the iPhone, 4 new colours, 3 new colours, 2 new colours, maybe just 2. There's the black, the blue, I think, and the silver and the desert tan, all titanium. I'll be looking forward to Jerry Rig everything, seeing what he does with that and pulling it apart and see how much titanium is actually in there. But there's really just 2 new colours there, that tan and the white, I think it is. The black one's always been around, always will be around. It just makes sense for phone tech to be black. And then there is, of course, that side button, and the side button for the camera. And when I saw that, I thought, that's kind of cool. We've gone from playing with the big boy cameras to having that two pressure shutter button. So when you half press it, it's going to, on a DSLR, it will focus and it will meter the shot. And the second push is actually pushing for the shutter button. And they're going to do that now with that side button. But it also is not released with the phone. You get the button and it will do things in the phone, like changing apertures and things like that, and you would have seen that in the demos. And it'll probably open the camera with a push of that button, I would say. But the 2 press of the shutter, so to focus and then to shoot, that's coming in a software update later on anyway. So they're releasing a phone like Pixel did last year. That's not all there. A lot of the marketing hype that was around this launch is not being shipped with the phone. It's kind of like releasing a new car, but not giving you the keys to open the back doors of the boot, or the trunk if you're American. On that side button, every year they're talking about the best iPhone, the best battery, blah, 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 blah. If I was a betting man, I would put a wager on that side button. Next year, it'll probably have a fingerprint sensor or something, and Apple will say this is the most secure iPhone ever because it's got that. But I'm not ragging on iPhones. If you've watched my video channel or all that before, you know that I'm an Apple person. I've got Mac gear. I've had iPhones every year since the 11 on this channel. There's a couple of things with this new one that I'm really looking forward to. The one thing I'm not looking forward to is the price of this thing. I've just recently bought a 15-inch MacBook Air, and it's basically the same price as the new iPhone Pro. Wow. The thing I am looking forward to is that wide-angle 48 megapixel on the Pro Series phones. I've got a feeling, and this is again, I don't want you to think, hey, you're sitting there bagging the phone, but you're still going to go buy one. I'm going to buy one anyway because of the channel. Regardless, there's going to be a new phone here for the channel. Once it's able to be purchased, there'll be one here. And then I'll show you what it can do with the night sky, like I do with all the other videos that I do. But I am interested to see what that ultra-wide is going to do with the 48 megapixel. The thing that concerns me about it is it's still f2.2, which is okay on big boy cameras, but on phones, I think we're kind of borderline not working too well. Time will tell. When I get that in my hands, I will definitely show you how good that is of shooting the night sky. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll show you how to take photos like this. The phone, the 48 megapixel on the ultra wide will almost certainly pixel bin like the main camera does, so it'll end up probably being a 12 megapixel photo, probably for low light stuff when you're using night mode. I dare say it will do that. They did talk about it being low light in that launch, but it was kind of like a one-liner. It'll be better in low light. They really should have done this last year as well with because the 14 to the 15. As soon as I shot the stars the first time, I was blown away. It was amazing compared to what it was before, and I thought, why on earth didn't you talk about this more? So I know that there are probably going to be things, besides all the software stuff that will come in later, there are going to be things almost certainly with that launch that when you get the phone in your hand, you go, why didn't you talk about this more? Because this is awesome. Like the night mode has been for all these phones since the 11. They don't really talk about it too much, but I think they should. There will be one here. We will see it in the next, what is it today? So I can order one, I think tomorrow, and then I think the 20th is when we actually get it in our hot little hands, and we'll see what it shoots. Are you going to get one? I think if you're on, and I said this last time with the iPhone 15, I think if you are on a phone that is, say, 11 or 12, you're probably worth updating to this one, probably. because the jumps between the phones from generation to generation, it really isn't that big a deal. The Dynamic Island was quite cool when it came out, but between that and the one before, it wasn't that big of a deal. All the phones have got better with their cameras all the way forward, all the way through those generations. And it's hard to say, yeah, this is going to be great, because every year they say, this is the best iPhone ever, it's our best battery ever, it's the best camera ever. So it's hard to take that at face value, saying that it is going to be good. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, because when I've got it here, you will see it all. I'll put the original photos up there on the website, so you can pull them down, have a look and see what you think from someone who is not a big influencer, someone who is doing this stuff, so you guys can see what it's like before you go and put your hand in your skyrocket and give them your dollars. All right, guys, catch you later.